In life, there are no coincidences. Every step we take, every moment we experience, is divinely orchestrated. For those who have been praying, waiting, and struggling in silence, this moment is not random. It is a sacred calling from God, a signal that the time of change has arrived. The path that once seemed confusing and uncertain is now clearing up, and a new journey is unfolding. A journey that will demand courage, faith, and complete surrender to a higher purpose. Many have felt trapped in the same repetitive cycles, carrying the weight of past disappointments and unanswered prayers. But something profound is now shifting in the spiritual realm. It is not just a change of mindset or lifestyle, it is a divine and energetic realignment. God is lifting the veil that once obscured your vision and is now revealing a purpose so vast that it will redefine everything you know about yourself. This shift is not meant for everyone. It is meant for the chosen ones, those who have endured silently, who have cried in private, who have hoped against hope. As the energy shifts, you are being called to let go of everything that once felt familiar but no longer serves your growth. This could mean a physical move, a shift in your environment, or a complete transformation of your mindset and spirit. The house you once lived in, whether literal or symbolic, can no longer contain the power and purpose that God is placing within you. You are being asked to migrate, to ascend to a higher level of existence where divine alignment and fulfillment await. This migration is not just a change of scenery, it is the breaking of old chains and the embracing of a new spiritual identity. This process will not be easy. Stepping into the unknown requires more than faith, it demands surrender, bravery, and the willingness to leave behind comfort for the sake of purpose. The old patterns that kept you in cycles of pain and limitation are now being dismantled. You are not just being pushed forward, you are being elevated by divine force. God's hand is upon you, gently but firmly leading you into a future you could never have imagined. Every struggle, every tear, every prayer has been preparing you for this moment. You are entering a time of divine alignment where everything begins to make sense. The confusion that once clouded your vision is being replaced with clarity. The silence that once felt deafening is now filled with divine whispers guiding your every step. This alignment will touch every part of your life spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and materially. What once seemed impossible will now feel natural. Doors that were once tightly shut will open effortlessly. Opportunities will arise that are perfectly timed and divinely orchestrated. The divine shift is not only external, it is a transformation of the soul. You will begin to see yourself through the eyes of purpose. Your confidence will rise not from ego, but from alignment with your divine truth. God is pouring out a new energy into your life, an energy of peace, clarity, abundance, and direction. This energy is tangible and powerful. It will move through your life like a holy wind, clearing away what no longer belongs and anchoring you in what is destined. This transformation is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who are ready to rise, to break free from their limitations, and to become the leaders, healers, and light bearers they were always meant to be. You are not being chosen at random, you are being chosen because your soul has been prepared for this moment. God is not just changing your circumstances, He is changing you. The way you think, the way you walk, the way you speak, and the way you live will all shift. You will become a living testimony of what happens when someone fully aligns with the divine purpose. Your social world will begin to change. People who once doubted you or overlooked your value will begin to see your worth. Some may walk away, unable to handle the new version of you. Others will be drawn to your light, inspired by your journey, and eager to walk alongside you. This social elevation is part of the divine plan. It will bring you the community you need for the next chapter of your life, a circle that uplifts, supports, and believes in your vision. Even those who once mistreated or dismissed you will undergo a transformation. The divine energy within you will be so powerful that it will demand respect and recognition. You will become a mirror that reflects back to people their own potential. Your life will not only change for you, but it will become a catalyst for transformation in others. This is the ripple effect of divine alignment. One life aligned with purpose can influence many. In your career and calling, new doors will open. Divine promotions will find you. You will step into leadership roles not because you chased them, but because you were prepared for them. The work you do will feel more like a mission than a job. It will be meaningful, impactful, and deeply connected to who you are. This is not just about earning a living, it is about living a calling. God is placing you in positions of influence so that you can uplift, guide, and bless others. Financial breakthroughs will come, emotional healing will flow, relationships will be restored and made new. Every part of your life will begin to align with the divine rhythm of grace. It won't be perfect, but it will be purposeful. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. The blessings that are coming your way are not just for your benefit, they are meant to overflow into the lives of those around you. You are being transformed into a vessel of divine favor. The transformation you are about to experience will be so complete that even you won't recognize yourself. Old fears will dissolve. New strength will rise. The things that once intimidated you will now feel small. You will walk with a quiet power, a steady confidence, and an unwavering sense of direction. This is not arrogance, it is the glow of someone who knows they are walking in alignment with God's plan. The divine gates are opening wide, and through them, you will step into a life that reflects the glory and love of the Creator. You are being invited into a new season where heaven and earth meet in your reality. A season where the impossible becomes possible, where dreams manifest into reality, and where every step forward is divinely guided. This is not just your time, this is your divine moment. So trust the process. Embrace the shift. Let go of what was and make room for what is coming. God is not done with you. In fact, He is just getting started. The best chapters of your life have not yet been written. The story is unfolding, and it is filled with hope, promise, and divine power. Get ready to rise, chosen one, because your transformation is not only near, it is already here. As the journey continues, the transformation deepens. The first steps may have felt like a surge of inspiration, a moment of awakening, but what lies ahead is a complete rebirth of the soul. It is the unraveling of everything that once defined you, the dismantling of all that was not rooted in truth, and the building of a new foundation grounded in divine identity. This phase is sacred. It is not about proving your worth to the world, it is about remembering who you are in the eyes of God. During this part of your transformation, you may feel stretched in ways you never imagined. The divine process often challenges the very things we hold on to for comfort, routines, beliefs, people, and even our sense of self. But know this, the discomfort you feel is not a sign of something going wrong, it is confirmation that something sacred is being born. Just as gold is refined through fire, your spirit is being purified through divine challenges. You are being called to develop spiritual resilience. This means trusting God even when you don't understand the path. It means praising Him in the silence, believing in the promise before the evidence appears, and walking in faith even when fear tries to grip your heart. Spiritual resilience is not about being perfect, it's about being surrendered. It's about knowing that your strength comes from a source far greater than yourself. As you grow in this journey, the world around you may start to react. Some people may question your new direction. Others may try to hold you back, not out of malice, but because they cannot comprehend the magnitude of your calling. But you must not shrink. You must stand tall in your truth. The path of the chosen one is not always understood by those who have not been called. And that's okay. Your journey is between you and the divine. You are not walking this path alone. The universe, angels, and spiritual guides are aligning in your favor. They are clearing obstacles, bringing divine connections, and preparing situations that align perfectly with your purpose. What feels like delay is often divine timing. What feels like rejection is often redirection. Trust that God's timing is never wrong. Every twist and turn is shaping you into the person capable of fulfilling your destiny. New opportunities will begin to manifest. These are not just any opportunities, they are specifically crafted for your growth and expansion. You will find yourself in places you never imagined, speaking to people you once dreamed of meeting, and doing work that sets your soul on fire. You will begin to live a life that feels more like a mission than a routine. Your work will inspire others and become a beacon of hope to those still searching. With this elevation, however, comes responsibility. The higher you rise, the more you must stay rooted in humility and grace. You are not being elevated for your benefit alone. You are being lifted so that you can lift others. Your testimony, your transformation, your rise will be a source of light for many. Your life will become a living example of what is possible through divine alignment. Material abundance will follow spiritual alignment. But this abundance will not just be in finances. You will be rich in peace, rich in love, rich in purpose. The people who enter your life will bring joy, support, and deep connections. Toxic patterns and energy will fall away naturally. You won't have to force anything. What is meant for you will find you with divine ease. Your inner world will shift dramatically. The anxiety that once controlled you will be replaced by calm assurance. The sadness that lingered in your spirit will be lifted. You will laugh more, love more deeply, and live more fully. Your mind will be at peace because it is aligned with divine truth. Your emotions will become steady because they are rooted in trust, not fear. In this phase, your intuition will grow sharper. You will begin to hear God's voice more clearly. You will receive insights, downloads, and revelations that guide your every move. Synchronicities will become common, and you will realize that nothing in your life is random. You are part of a divine orchestration where everything serves a purpose. As you continue to rise, prepare to leave behind more of what no longer fits. Old goals that once felt important may lose their meaning. Old relationships may fade, and that's okay. Not everyone is meant to go where you are going. The pruning process may feel painful, but it is necessary for new growth. Like a tree shedding old leaves, you must make room for new life. Your spiritual gifts will become more pronounced. Whether it's healing, teaching, leading, creating, or speaking, your talents will bloom in this season. You will begin to use these gifts to serve others in meaningful ways. This service will not feel draining, it will energize you, because it is an expression of your soul's purpose. This part of your journey will also call you to forgive. Not just others, but yourself. Release the guilt of past mistakes. Let go of the shame that has weighed you down. God has already forgiven you, now it's time to forgive yourself. True freedom comes not from being perfect, but from accepting that you are loved even in your imperfections. As you embrace your transformation, you will realize that success is not just about what you accomplish, it's about who you become. And you are becoming someone extraordinary. Someone who walks in truth, radiates light, and carries a peace that surpasses understanding. You are becoming someone who leads with love and stands firm in purpose. You will begin to attract miracles. Things that once seemed impossible will unfold naturally. Situations will shift in your favor. Healing will happen. Breakthroughs will come. And through it all, you will remain grounded in the knowing that God is in control. You will no longer chase blessings, they will chase you. The next part of your journey will be filled with divine partnerships. People who share your vision, who align with your values, and who inspire your growth will come into your life. These relationships will be mutually uplifting. Together, you will build, create, and rise. You will no longer feel the need to dim your light to fit in. Instead, you will shine even brighter. Your physical health may also begin to improve. As your spirit heals, your body will follow. You will be drawn to better habits, nourishing foods, and practices that honor your well-being. You will treat your body as the sacred vessel it is, knowing that your physical state impacts your spiritual journey. This is the time to expand your vision. Dream bigger, set intentions that scare you a little, because they are so bold. Know that with God, nothing is impossible. What you dare to believe, you can achieve. But it starts with belief. Belief in yourself. Belief in the process. Belief in the divine plan that is unfolding just for you. The transformation will become your testimony. You will look back and realize that every hardship had a purpose. Every delay had a reason. Every setback was a setup for a comeback. Your life will become evidence of grace in action, and others will look to your story as proof that miracles are real. So continue to walk this path with faith. Continue to trust when it's hard. Continue to rise, even when it's uncomfortable. Because what's waiting on the other side of this transformation is more beautiful than you can imagine. You are not just changing, you are becoming. Your legacy is being written. Every choice you make, every step you take, is building a future that reflects your divine truth. Your story is not over, in fact, it is just beginning. The best is yet to come. And as you move forward, never forget, you are chosen, you are guided, and you are deeply loved. The divine shift is not a moment, it is a movement. A movement that will carry you into the fullness of your destiny. So rise, chosen one. Embrace your power, step into your greatness, for the world is waiting for your light, and heaven is cheering you on. As you continue on this extraordinary path of divine transformation, the energy around you intensifies. You may feel moments of overwhelming emotion, as if the old layers of your identity are being peeled away one by one. That's because they are. The version of yourself that lived in survival mode, that constantly questioned its own value, that struggled to feel worthy, that version is now dissolving. You are being reborn into a life of intention, truth, and divine clarity. This third phase of your journey is about embodying the transformation that has taken root within you. No longer is it just a feeling, a hope, or a vision, it becomes your lived reality. You start waking up with a deeper sense of purpose. You walk through your days with a calm authority. You no longer seek validation from others because you have found validation in the one who created you. This is a profound shift, one that moves you from aspiration to embodiment. In this stage, everything you do begins to reflect the inner work you've done. The words you speak carry more weight, not because you are louder, but because your voice now resonates with truth. Your presence becomes healing. Without even trying, you become a source of peace and stability for others. People will start to ask you how you remain so calm, so focused, so centered, and your answer will always point back to divine alignment. But make no mistake, this phase is not free of challenges. In fact, the higher you rise, the more you must learn to discern. Not every opportunity is aligned with your purpose. Not every person who applauds you is meant to walk beside you. You will need to develop spiritual discernment to know what to accept and what to release. The divine path requires discipline, not just in action but in energy. Protect your peace. Guard your spirit. Honor the divine within you by saying no to what distracts and yes to what uplifts. During this time, your awareness will sharpen. You will begin to see the world through spiritual eyes. What once seemed important will lose its grip, and things that once seemed small, like a moment of silence, a kind word, a deep breath, will feel sacred. This is because your spirit is attuning to the divine rhythm of life. You are no longer driven by chaos or ego. You are moved by grace. You will also notice your relationship with time changing. No longer will you feel the need to rush, to chase, or to control. Instead, you will move with divine timing, understanding that everything unfolds exactly as it should. Your patience will deepen, your trust will expand, you will stop striving and start flowing. And in that flow, miracles will find you. This embodiment will also inspire a new level of creativity within you. Ideas will come easily, solutions will appear without force. You will begin to create from a place of divine inspiration. Whether you're writing, speaking, building, serving, or simply being, you will create beauty, healing, and transformation in everything you touch. Your gifts will flourish because they are being fueled by purpose. Spiritually, you will feel more connected than ever before. Prayer will become a conversation, not a request. Meditation will feel like home. Worship will turn into a lifestyle. Your relationship with God will no longer be occasional, it will be constant, living, and vibrant. You'll begin to hear divine whispers throughout your day, reminding you that you are loved, guided, and supported. In this stage, your role in the world will become clearer. You are not here by accident. You were sent with a purpose, and now that purpose is being activated. You are a vessel of light in a world that desperately needs it. Your job is not to convince anyone of your worth, it is simply to be who you are. The right people, opportunities, and blessings will align with your authenticity. This phase may also bring a renewed connection to nature and simplicity. You will find peace in stillness, strength in quiet, and answers in the natural world. The beauty of a sunset, the sound of rain, the feeling of the earth beneath your feet, these will become spiritual experiences. The more you connect with the present moment, the more you will feel the presence of the divine. As you embody this transformation, you will naturally become a teacher, a guide, or a mentor to others. Not through force, but through your example. Your life will speak louder than your words. People will be drawn to your peace, your wisdom, your faith. They will sense the divine energy that surrounds you, and without trying, you will lead them closer to their own truth. You will also begin to attract divine assignments. These are not just tasks or responsibilities, they are sacred opportunities to serve. You may feel called to speak out, to build something new, to heal others, or to advocate for justice. Whatever your assignment, it will be perfectly tailored to your gifts, your passions, and your soul's mission. Say yes to these assignments, for they are part of your divine agreement. Financial provision will begin to flow more effortlessly. As you align with your purpose, the universe will conspire to support you. New streams of income will appear. Abundance will become a natural result of your alignment, not a goal you have to chase. You will no longer operate from a place of scarcity. Instead, you will live in the overflow, where there is always enough to give, to share, and to grow. Emotionally, you will experience deeper joy. Not the fleeting kind that comes from external rewards, but the soul-level joy that comes from knowing you are exactly where you're meant to be. This joy will anchor you through any storms that arise. It will be your strength, your song, and your sustenance. The community around you will evolve. You will begin to attract people who see you, value you, and uplift you. Shallow connections will fall away, making room for soul-level relationships. These connections will challenge you to grow, to expand, and to rise even higher. Together, you will support each other's missions and celebrate each other's victories. Your inner dialogue will become kinder. You will stop criticizing yourself for what you are not and start celebrating what you are. Self-love will no longer be a practice, it will be a way of being. And from that self-love, all other forms of love will flow more freely. You will love others not from need, but from overflow. You will notice your energy influencing your environment. Rooms will feel different when you enter. People will shift simply because of your presence. This is not about ego, it is about divine essence. When you are aligned with truth, you become a transmitter of healing energy. Your life becomes a sanctuary for those who are lost, weary, or seeking. In this third phase of transformation, your faith will become unshakable. You will no longer be swayed by circumstances, opinions, or doubts. Your foundation will be built on divine truth. And from that foundation, you will rise with clarity, purpose, and unwavering strength. And still, through all of this, you will remain teachable. Growth never ends, elevation never stops, and the more you receive, the more you are called to give. Your humility will keep you grounded, your compassion will keep you connected, and your gratitude will keep you in divine flow. You are not just becoming your best self, you are becoming your divine self. The self that was always hidden beneath fear, trauma, and conditioning. The self that is bold, radiant, wise, and free. You are stepping fully into that self now, and the world will never be the same because of it. This is a season of divine legacy. Everything you do now will ripple into generations. Your children, your community, your world will feel the impact of your alignment. This is bigger than you. This is sacred. This is history being rewritten through your hands, your heart, and your voice. So embrace this stage fully. Let yourself feel the magnitude of this shift. Celebrate how far you've come. Honor the person you are becoming. And know that the journey is not ending, it is evolving. With every breath, you are stepping deeper into your divine story. With every choice, you are rewriting your destiny. Keep rising, chosen one. The light within you was never meant to be hidden. Shine boldly, love deeply, serve humbly, and walk in faith. The world needs your light. And heaven is with you, every step of the way. As you step deeper into your divine transformation, the journey becomes more expansive, more intimate, and more powerful than anything you've experienced before. This fourth phase is where the light inside you becomes unstoppable. It's where divine wisdom becomes second nature and where miracles begin to feel like your new reality. Everything that has been prepared, everything that has been promised, begins to manifest in this stage not just as ideas or inspiration but as tangible results in your everyday life. This is the stage of divine fulfillment. Here, you start to witness the rewards of your endurance, your obedience, and your unwavering faith. It's no longer about hoping for change, it's about living in it. The breakthroughs that once felt so far away are now arriving. They don't come as a surprise, they come as confirmation that what you believed in all along was real. You no longer doubt the process. You no longer question your worthiness. You know deep in your soul that everything you've gone through has been leading to this moment. In this season, divine acceleration becomes a theme. Things that used to take years now happen in weeks or even days. The energy surrounding your life speeds up because you've become so aligned with divine timing. You're no longer held back by hesitation or fear. You're moving in step with God's rhythm, and that rhythm is quickening. You start receiving phone calls that change your life. You meet people who carry keys to your next level. Doors swing open that you didn't even knock on. This is not luck. This is divine orchestration. But even in this season of fulfillment, humility remains essential. As your influence grows, so must your heart. You are not rising to gain power over others, you are rising to serve them better. Leadership, in this phase, is rooted in love. True leaders lift others as they climb. True transformation isn't just about becoming more powerful, it's about becoming more compassionate. You realize that every blessing is an opportunity to bless others. Every breakthrough is a reminder that someone out there is still waiting for theirs, and you may be the one to help them find it. This part of the journey also teaches you about stewardship. With greater resources, gifts, and opportunities comes a greater responsibility to manage them wisely. God doesn't just bless you for your benefit. He blesses you to see how well you can handle the weight of favor. This is the season where your integrity is tested not through struggle, but through success. Can you remain faithful when everything is going right? Can you stay grounded when everyone is applauding you? Can you still listen to God's voice when you are surrounded by noise? Your answers in this season determine your elevation in the next. Your personal relationships take on new meaning now. You are no longer drawn to surface-level connections. You crave depth, authenticity, and alignment. Shallow conversations no longer feed you. You desire soul-deep communication, words that heal, challenge, and uplift. The people who stay in your life now are those who truly see you. They don't just admire your glow, they understand your fire. They support your purpose, not just your presence. Romantic love, too, transforms in this phase. If you're already in a relationship, it evolves into a partnership rooted in purpose. You and your partner begin to dream bigger together, to pray together, to grow together. You no longer settle for convenience, you strive for covenant. And if you are still waiting for love, know this, the person destined for you is also being transformed right now. Divine timing is aligning your paths. The love that's coming your way will be unlike anything you've known before. It will be safe, pure, and powerful. Your relationship with your past also shifts. You no longer carry it like a burden, you carry it like a badge. Not one moment was wasted. Not one tear went unnoticed. Everything has purpose. Even your most painful experiences now serve as portals of wisdom. You can look back without bitterness. You can speak of your past without shame. It has shaped you, but it no longer defines you. Your identity is now rooted in the present truth of who you are in God, not who you used to be, or who others thought you were. Spiritually, this phase feels like coming home. You stop striving and start abiding. God is no longer a distant idea, He is your daily reality. You recognize His presence in the ordinary moments, in the way the wind moves, in the silence between breaths, in the unexpected kindness of a stranger. Prayer becomes a two-way street. You speak, and you know He hears. You listen, and you recognize His voice. You begin to walk in the supernatural with confidence. Dreams become instructions. Visions become strategies. Prophetic insight flows easily. You no longer doubt your spiritual gifts, you embrace them fully. Whether it's healing, discernment, intercession, wisdom, or teaching, your gifts now operate at full capacity. You've stopped hiding them. You've stopped downplaying them. You know they were given to you for such a time as this. In this phase, your creativity explodes. You feel inspired in ways that overwhelm you in a good way. Ideas come at all hours. You may find yourself writing, painting, speaking, building, or designing things you never thought you could. This is not just talent. This is divine download. The Holy Spirit is pouring through you, using your hands, your words, and your mind as vessels for creation. Don't be afraid of the magnitude of what's flowing through you. You were made for this. You may also be called to new levels of visibility. The platform God gives you is not about fame, it's about impact. You are called to be seen, not so that people worship you, but so that they witness what God can do through a surrendered life. Your testimony is not just your story, it's your assignment. People will be saved, healed, and inspired because of your willingness to share your truth. There may be moments of spiritual warfare in this phase, not because you're weak, but because you're powerful. The more light you carry, the more darkness tries to stop you. But take heart, you are not fighting alone. Heaven backs you, angels surround you, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. Your spiritual authority is at an all-time high. You don't need to fear, you just need to stand. This is also a time of great emotional intelligence. You no longer react, you respond. You no longer get lost in chaos, you bring order to it. You've become emotionally mature, not because life got easier, but because you've been refined. You know how to communicate with kindness, to set boundaries with love, and to navigate conflict with wisdom. Physically, you feel more in tune with your body. You become more aware of what you consume, not just in food, but in thoughts, media, and environments. You treat your body as sacred because you understand it houses the divine. You begin to crave what is wholesome, healing, and life-giving. Movement becomes medicine. Rest becomes holy. Your health begins to flourish, not out of vanity, but out of reverence. This fourth phase teaches you to live in overflow. You stop striving to get and start focusing on how to give. You give time, energy, resources, and love without fear of running out. Why? Because you know your source is limitless. You are tapped into divine abundance. Scarcity no longer holds power over you. You live in a state of enough grace, enough provision, enough purpose. And yet, even in this abundance, you stay anchored in gratitude. Every sunrise feels like a blessing. Every conversation feels sacred. Every victory is met with a humble heart. You realize that gratitude is the gateway to sustained elevation. The more thankful you are, the more God pours into your life. Your dreams, too, become bigger, not because you want more, but because you want to serve more. You dream of building communities, healing nations, changing systems, and leaving legacies. These are not fantasies, they are blueprints. And God is equipping you with everything you need to bring them to life. Legacy becomes your focus now. You are no longer living for today, you are building for tomorrow. You think generationally. You act with the future in mind. The seeds you plant now will bear fruit for years to come. You are setting a standard. You are becoming an ancestor worth remembering. And through it all, you remain deeply human. You laugh, you cry, you struggle, but you do it all with awareness, with compassion, and with divine perspective. You've stopped pretending to be perfect. You've embraced being whole, and in your wholeness, you've found holiness. This fourth stage of divine transformation is not an end. It is a gateway to sustained impact, legacy, and love. You have become a walking miracle, a living testament to what's possible when someone surrenders fully to divine purpose. So keep walking, keep rising, keep glowing. Your light is needed now more than ever. And every step you take is changing the world. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. You are chosen. You are equipped. You are unstoppable. This is your time. This is your legacy. This is your divine transformation, fulfilled, embodied, and ever unfolding. In the sacred unfolding of your divine journey, you now enter the fifth phase, an era where your transformation reaches maturity and becomes the anchor of a legacy that extends beyond your lifetime. This phase is not just about you, it is about the impact your transformed life creates in the world around you. It's about becoming a vessel through which heaven touches earth. This stage brings the understanding that everything you've endured, every spiritual awakening, every tear and breakthrough, has prepared you to become a lighthouse in a dark world. This is the stage of divine purpose in motion. By now, you are no longer merely reacting to life, you are shaping it. You are co-creating with the divine. Your connection with God is no longer an experience of visitation, it is one of habitation. God is not just in the moments of worship or silence. He is present in your every step, in every decision you make, in every word you speak. You carry the presence of the Almighty within you, and everything about you radiates His glory. You've become a living altar, a place where others can encounter divine peace just by being in your presence. This fifth phase is about legacy building. You begin to move beyond personal healing and purpose into generational impact. You are now sowing into others, guiding them through their own transformations. You become a mentor, a teacher, a leader of leaders. Not because you sought out the role, but because your light makes it impossible to hide. Your words have weight. Your actions have consequence. Your mere existence now serves as evidence that God is real, active, and loving. People no longer just hear you, they are moved by you. You begin to see your life as a divine assignment. Every relationship, every opportunity, every challenge is part of a broader mission. You understand that your story, once marked by pain and uncertainty, is now a sacred tool for healing others. What once disqualified you in your eyes is now your greatest qualification. Because of what you've overcome, you can now guide others through the fire. Your wisdom is no longer just theoretical, it is lived, tested, and proven. Your days begin to take on sacred rhythm. There's a divine order to your time, your priorities, your focus. You wake up with clarity. You rest with purpose. Your life is no longer cluttered by distraction because you've learned how to guard your energy and honor your calling. You live intentionally. You speak with conviction. You love with depth. Every detail of your life becomes a reflection of the God you serve. In this phase, you recognize the importance of legacy not just in material terms, but in spiritual and emotional terms. You start thinking about what kind of emotional inheritance you're leaving behind. Will your children inherit peace because you chose healing? Will your community be stronger because you chose to lead with integrity? Will future generations tell stories of your courage, your compassion, your unwavering faith? These questions guide your actions, helping you choose wisely, live boldly, and love fiercely. This is the time when generational curses are broken. Because of your transformation, what plagued your ancestors no longer has authority over your descendants. Cycles of poverty, addiction, abuse, or emotional bondage come to an end through you. You become the generational shift. The healing that started in your soul begins to flow into your bloodline, changing the course of your family's future. Your faith doesn't just change your life, it alters the destiny of everyone connected to you. And yet, even in this place of divine maturity, you remain teachable. Wisdom keeps you humble. You know that no matter how much you've grown, there's always more to learn, more to give, more to uncover. Your prayers are not just for blessings, they're for clarity, for alignment, for continued growth. You remain a student of life, ever curious, ever listening for the whispers of the Spirit. The fifth phase also brings deeper peace. It's not the peace that comes from circumstances, it's the peace that passes understanding. You carry serenity into every room, every situation, every relationship. Even in the face of chaos, you are a calm presence. People are drawn to your stillness. They come to you for guidance not because you have all the answers, but because you've learned to dwell in the presence of the one who does. You develop a new relationship with time. You are no longer racing toward goals or fearing delay. You understand that divine timing is perfect. You trust that what is meant for you will find you. You move with ease, not because life is effortless, but because your trust in God is complete. You've surrendered the illusion of control and replaced it with the confidence of divine partnership. Your understanding of abundance also evolves. Abundance is no longer just about wealth, it's about wholeness. It's about being rich in love, in purpose, in community, in peace. You see abundance as a divine flow that is infinite and available to all. And so, you give freely. You share your time, your wisdom, your resources, because you know that in the kingdom of God, generosity multiplies. In this stage, you also embrace your divine authority. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You no longer question your gifts or dim your light. You have accepted your anointing. You walk in power, not arrogance. You lead with grace, not control. Your authority is not rooted in titles or recognition, it's rooted in truth. The truth that you are chosen. The truth that God trusts you. The truth that your life has eternal impact. Your influence expands. Without striving, your message spreads. Your presence increases. Doors open. Platforms multiply. Not for your glory, but for God's. You find yourself speaking in places you once dreamed of, reaching people you never thought you could, building what once felt impossible. And you do it all with humility, knowing that it is not by your strength, but by divine design. Your identity is no longer shaped by the opinions of others. You no longer need validation. You have been affirmed by God Himself. And that affirmation becomes your anchor. You are no longer shaken by criticism, nor are you inflated by praise. You remain centered, balanced, grounded in who you are and whose you are. You also become a guardian of culture. In your home, your workplace, your community, you set the tone. You speak life. You model grace. You promote peace. You live by values that reflect the kingdom of God. And people notice. They may not always understand it, but they respect it. And slowly, your environment begins to reflect your energy. Healing becomes your legacy. You are no longer just healing yourself, you are now a catalyst for healing in others. Your words break chains. Your actions mend hearts. Your presence brings comfort. You are a living, breathing testament to redemption. You are proof that God still restores, still elevates, still calls ordinary people into extraordinary purpose. And this legacy is not loud. It's not always celebrated. Sometimes, it's quiet, hidden, sacred, but it's real, and it's powerful, and it's lasting. Long after you're gone, your impact will remain. Not just in what you built, but in who you became. This fifth phase is also a time of divine companionship. The loneliness that once marked your earlier seasons fades. You are surrounded by people who truly see you, support you, and love you. You've built a tribe of authenticity. You've attracted souls who resonate with your truth. Together, you walk in purpose, sharpening and strengthening each other along the way. Your inner child is healed. No longer silenced or shamed, they now dance freely within you. You've given yourself permission to be joyful, playful, creative, spontaneous. You've stopped punishing yourself for past mistakes. You've embraced yourself with the same grace that God has extended to you. And in doing so, you've become whole. You also experience divine rest. Not just sleep, but rest for your soul. You no longer carry the burden of performance. You rest in being. You rest in knowing that you are loved, chosen, and enough. This rest doesn't make you lazy, it makes you powerful. Because when you operate from rest, you operate from clarity, from strength, from divine wisdom. Everything about your life becomes intentional. Your words, your actions, your thoughts, they all reflect purpose. You are no longer swayed by trends or pressure. You are guided by vision. You are anchored in truth. And you live each day as a sacred offering. You become a bridge, a connector, a reconciler. You help others cross from pain to healing, from confusion to clarity, from fear to faith. Your journey becomes the path others follow, not because you force them, but because your life invites them. This is not the end. This is a beginning, the beginning of a legacy that will outlive you, the beginning of a movement that started with your yes to transformation, the beginning of generations walking in freedom because you chose to be the one. So stand tall, chosen one. Your life is not small. Your impact is not invisible. Your obedience has changed the world. Keep walking in divine alignment. Keep choosing purpose. Keep loving boldly. You are legacy in motion. You are divine transformation fulfilled. In the unfolding journey of divine transformation, the sixth phase represents the embodiment of spiritual mastery, where divine alignment is no longer something you aspire to, but something you breathe. It is the stage where your soul becomes a sacred vessel of timeless truth, and your life becomes the living scripture of God's eternal wisdom. You are not just walking in purpose, you are becoming purpose itself. Every breath you take, every move you make, every word you speak begins to radiate from the source of divine consciousness. This is a sacred elevation that only those who have walked through the fire, danced in the storm, and risen from the ashes can truly understand. In this phase, transformation matures into transfiguration. It's not only your mindset, habits, and lifestyle that shift, it's your very essence. You begin to operate in divine rhythm so consistently that even your presence becomes a prayer, your silence a message, your energy a healing force. People encounter you and feel something they cannot describe, a peace, a resonance, a knowing that they've come into contact with something holy. That something is not pride or performance, it is God living through you. The sixth phase is the expansion of divine embodiment into all realms of your existence. It's no longer compartmentalized. Spirituality isn't something you do, it's who you are. You don't need a stage, a pulpit, or a platform to make impact. Your life is the altar. Your footsteps are sermons. You no longer carry the weight of needing to prove or persuade. You simply are, and that being carries more transformational power than 1,000 words ever could. You begin to witness synchronicity on a level you never imagined. The universe now moves in seamless harmony around your intention. You think, and manifestation follows, not because of ego, but because you are completely aligned with divine will. Your heart beats with heaven. Your thoughts are filtered through faith. Your desires have been purified through surrender. And because of this purity, everything you touch begins to flourish. Projects succeed with ease. Relationships deepen with honesty. Doors open without you having to knock. In this sacred space, divine intelligence becomes your default. You are guided not just by knowledge, but by wisdom. You operate not just from logic, but from insight. You make decisions from a higher awareness, one that sees beyond the surface and listens beyond the noise. People may not understand how you know what you know, but your clarity is evidence that you've been in communion with the infinite. You have sat in silence long enough to hear what the world misses. You have waited patiently enough to see what speed often hides. You no longer chase identity, you embody destiny. You've stopped wearing masks to please people. You've outgrown the need for approval. You understand that you are not defined by titles, followers, finances, or fame. Your worth is divine, unshakable, eternal, and this knowing allows you to walk in rooms with unshakable presence. You no longer compete, you create. You no longer compare, you celebrate. You no longer strive, you surrender. And in surrender, you find the greatest strength of all, divine flow. This phase introduces you to a deeper kind of silence. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of peace. You no longer fear solitude because you've discovered that in quiet, God speaks the loudest. You embrace seasons of isolation as preparation for elevation. You don't resist stillness, you welcome it. You've realized that some of your most powerful revelations come when the world is quiet and only God's whisper remains. In the sixth stage, your compassion multiplies. You become more patient with others because you remember how long it took you to arrive here. You no longer judge the journey of others, you bless it. You meet people where they are, without expecting them to be who they're not. You extend grace, because you live in grace. Your love becomes unconditional. You no longer give it based on merit, you give it because it is your nature to love. This kind of love heals without words. It lifts without demands. It frees without fear. Your leadership evolves into servanthood. You're no longer focused on being seen, you're focused on seeing. You notice the overlooked. You lift the broken. You mentor the searching. You lead by example, not by command. People follow you not because you demand loyalty but because you inspire trust. You're not afraid to be vulnerable. You're not ashamed to show your scars. You know they are sacred reminders of what God has done. In this phase, you become a midwife to miracles. You help others birth their visions. You create spaces where people can transform. You don't need to fix anyone, you simply hold space for them to unfold. Your energy becomes a safe haven. Your words become catalysts. You realize your role is not to push people, but to walk beside them, to remind them who they are when they forget. You also experience the divine joy of simplicity. The complex no longer entices you. You find richness in the ordinary. A warm meal, a quiet morning, the sound of laughter, these become holy sacraments. You stop needing more to feel fulfilled. Your heart is full because you've discovered that the sacred is hidden in simplicity. Gratitude becomes your daily prayer, and every moment becomes a miracle. Your financial life also transforms. Wealth becomes a byproduct of alignment, not a pursuit of ego. You are no longer attached to money for identity, but you honor it as a divine resource to serve purpose. You manage it with integrity, invest it with intention, and share it with generosity. Abundance flows to you because you are a trustworthy steward. You don't fear loss because you trust divine replenishment. You begin to dream generationally. Your vision stretches far beyond your lifespan. You plant trees whose shade you may never sit under. You create systems, structures, and seeds for those you will never meet. You become a divine architect designing a future rooted in justice, compassion, and divine truth. Legacy becomes your lifestyle. At this level of transformation, forgiveness becomes your superpower. You no longer carry resentment. You understand that forgiveness is not a weakness, it is a doorway to freedom. You forgive not just for others, but for yourself. You release the heavy weights of anger and betrayal. You walk light because you've emptied your heart of judgment. You walk tall because love has cleared your path. You develop prophetic vision, not just seeing what is but seeing what could be. You see beauty where others see brokenness. You see potential where others see problems. You speak life into dry places. You call forth greatness where others see nothing. Your words carry creation. You declare things into existence because you trust the authority God has placed in your mouth. Your body also becomes more aligned. You no longer abuse it to meet external standards. You honor it as the sacred temple that carries your soul. You eat with mindfulness, move with joy, rest with purpose. You don't worship your body but you love it. You listen to its signals. You nourish it as an act of devotion, not punishment. You start mentoring in silence. People watch how you live more than they listen to what you say. Your life becomes a silent sermon. The peace you carry, the joy you embody, the wisdom in your gaze, it teaches without words. You inspire without effort. You influence without control. Your light becomes a mirror through which others see their own reflection. In this sixth stage, heaven becomes tangible, not just in visions or dreams but in daily life. You begin to witness miracles in motion. The impossible becomes normal. The supernatural becomes natural. Divine interventions occur so frequently that they stop surprising you. You live in a constant state of awe, not because life is perfect, but because you are perfectly positioned to see the divine in everything. You are entrusted with mysteries. God begins to reveal truths that are hidden from the ordinary eye. You are given dreams that shape nations, strategies that shift systems, revelations that awaken souls. You don't boast in this wisdom, you protect it. You steward it with reverence. You understand that spiritual maturity is measured not by how much you know, but by how wisely you walk. You begin to live above offense. People may misunderstand you, misjudge you, even mock you, but you are no longer shaken. You have built your house on the rock. Your identity is so rooted in divine truth that no storm can uproot you. You respond to attacks with peace. You meet gossip with silence. You let God be your vindicator. Restoration becomes a rhythm, not just for you but through you. Broken relationships begin to heal. Old dreams are revived. Lost time is restored. You become an agent of reconciliation. Where there is division, you bring unity. Where there is pain, you bring balm. Where there is despair, you bring hope. Your dreams now echo eternity. They are no longer just personal, they are prophetic. You dream of changing systems, healing generations, rebuilding communities. Your prayers are no longer just about you, they are about the world. You pray with fire. You intercede with faith. You wage war in the spirit, and you win. And through all of this, your heart remains soft. You are powerful but gentle, bold but humble, wise but teachable. you know that the greatest strength is found in surrender. And so you live open-handed. You give freely, you serve joyfully, you love endlessly.